perfect segue into some of the questions we have for Mark, right?
Oh, yeah.
For the viewers, for those who may not know, Mark Jerome, what was it, 2009? What year did you win? 4th grade national champs with Riverside Hawks. He had 2 NBA players on that team.
And 4th, 3 NBA players.
3? Who's the 3rd? I don't know.
Tim Pascal.
Oh, also on that draft class.
And
So,
also that draft class.
now we have the head coach of the national championship program, right? He coached 3 guys in that team. Ty Jerome, his son, Donovan Mitchell, and Eric Pascal. All great players, right? So what we wanted to ask you were, what is a sign that a player has what it takes to get to the next level, whether it be D1 pros and like what else? How do you know?
All right,
Ethics?
So it's a great question. I can answer that now, definitely not convinced. But by the way, it's 3 national championships we won.
What else? All right, what else? Oh, let us know. What is it?
So, it's funny. I just proposed doing a small documentary to The Athletic on the game us versus Gauchos. So I gotta find the film. That game was so crazy. Our team was 3rd grade, their team was 4th grade, but because of AU rules, they could play down. So they had what turned out to be like 6 Division I players on the team, which is crazy. I think they had Malachi, went to Syracuse.
Yeah.
They had Josh, went to Monmouth, they had Jakari Johnson went to Kentucky. They had I'm missing like 2 or 3 guys. Right? We ended up having so some of our guys were young, right? Tom was 2nd grade. Donovan was a 3rd grader. Eric was a 3rd grader. And then but they were young 3rd graders. So they were I can't remember if it was 4th versus 5th or whatever it was. It was 10U. In the stands waiting to play 12U or 14U was Kyle Anderson, a bunch of other really packed standing room only Gaucho gym. Right? Like it was like some great game that had to be canceled at Rucker because of weather, and they moved to the Gaucho. Was like that packed. Crazy. And we could never beat them. Just because they were a year older, almost a year older, 9 months, 10 months, whatever. They had Dakari, who was like 6'4".
He was bigger, yeah.
And he was fairly skilled. They had all these guards that were so good.
Yeah.
Finally, in their own tournament championship game, this kid Jack, whose father just passed away, hits a 3 at the buzzer and we win. Right? And he ended up becoming a D3 All-American at Middlebury. Yeah, could shoot it, right? But then later in life, he broke his arm, so he could never shoot. But cerebral player, but wasn't quite good enough to play D1 anyway. So that year, they went to nationals, and we went to nationals, and we both did really well. And you don't know, like Donovan didn't play a lot in that game. Ty probably didn't play a lot. Eric Pascal probably didn't play a lot because they were way younger. At that age, I had no idea. No clue who was going to be good, who wasn't going to be good. I'm just intense. I'm just like
locked in on the game.
Yes. And just thinking about that game. And as a young coach, and I tell this to young coaches all the time, the referee is not against you. They have no horse in the race. Right? So that's always like so much energy or spit talking about, like, instead of being so emotional as a coach, instead of being a lot more logical and being a lot more calm and poised, running plays nice and run sets. So in that particular game, I knew on the big court, our chance was we had to make it a full court game. We can't make it a half court game without Dakari. But that being said, we weren't big. We had one kid, Brandon, who was big, but he just wasn't ready at the time. He ended up going to Hampton, and I think he transferred to Iona and maybe a couple other schools. But he wasn't focused, and his body wasn't where it needed to be at the time. So I had no clue.
Especially being that young too.
Being that young, and all these people just talking about it, just filming and telling their kid they got to play on this team and that national team. Like, who cares at 3rd or 4th grade?
Yeah.
Stop with the craziness, right? And somebody just sent me a meme, like, where, and I'll say it to you guys, they have 5 different lines, and each line is a category
of the training and that's,
right. So exposure, and had like 12, 15, most people on that line, right? The next line was, I forget what else. The next line was maybe coaching. Next line was development. Whatever, it was like 5 different lines. And exposure had the longest line because everybody's just chasing that. And what I tell people all the time is, go where you're going to get the best coaching. Go where you're going to get the most amount of playing time in a competitive environment. and where you're going to be able to develop. And everybody wants a sneaker chase. And there's so many people that chase. There's so many stories I have. I can't count the stories I have of people trying to play on a team here, playing on a team in DC, playing on a team in Buff. Like, what are you doing, bro? What? Like, why are you putting your kid in that position? Constantly. You're chasing instead of using that time, that travel time to get with a quality team. And I don't necessarily believe in like the one-on-one training constantly. It's not real basketball. There's only this many people. This many people that can play. The numbers. So when you ask that question, right? Nobody wants to consider this. Everybody's going to fall in love with their coach or their trainer who's telling them their kid's going to be a Division I player. How many people can be Division I players? 351 Division teams. 350 Division I teams. 12 spots per team, maybe?
Yeah.
And then it's a little bit different now because you have overtime and you have prep schools and kids can go 1 year. And now with NIL, though, I think it's more people have to start going to college again, right? Because you can make so much money. But when you look at the numbers, so there's 12 people on the team. They don't understand. Like, we're in New York, yes, New York, big city, so many different teams. Like, who's in 3rd and 4th grade now who's really good is probably not going to be good in the 6th and 7th grade. Maybe not. Height plays a role, athleticism plays a role, strength plays a role, commitment, injury-free, right? So many variables play a role. But when you look at New York, okay, New York's got, out of the 8 million people living in the city, how many people play basketball? I don't know, whatever it is, but what you're forgetting about the Midwest, you're forgetting about Chicago, you're forgetting about
Down South.
LA, you're forgetting about down South. Seattle has got a huge number of kids that are high-level players. Seattle, at one point, I think, had the most amount of NBA players per capita in the league. So there's so many kids. And then when you talk about the D1, there's 3 spots, maybe 3 to 4 spots per team that leave every year. Right? So that means everybody's fighting. And then that doesn't include all the people, like, it's not 3 guards. It's 3 spots. So maybe there's a guard, maybe there's a forward, maybe there's a center. Maybe, and then you look at how many people are 6'2", 6'3" and under fighting for those guard spots. Right? So I have a much different concept of what it takes to play now at the next level. I never thought my kid was going to be good. I never thought Donovan's funny. Donovan was interviewed last year. And somebody asked him about Ty. He's like, man, I've known Ty since 2nd grade. None of this is surprising me. And somebody said, well, what was it like going to practice? He was like, practice? I still had like bad dreams about going to practice with Mark's father and cursing at us 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning. So he's like, whatever he said, he said it was hilarious what he said, right? And so many people texted about it. It was funny. But my idea of coaching kids then, like I always felt like the game came easy to me and how I thought about it. And I'm very, very, very detailed in my coaching. And I always want to raise awareness and IQ. Where's IQ for me in teaching decision making on the court in academic environments? The most important thing you can teach your kids, especially in the
I was telling you. Important drill in their heads. I was going to ask you that, but I'm glad you spoke.
Yeah, so and just like, there's very few people in New York teaching how to come off a screen the right way, how to defend a screen, how to go backdoor, what the value is of actually coming off the back door properly, right? And setting that screen. People are just in an arms race to get the best players. There's 55 million teams in New York City. Every coach thinks that they're gonna take their kid to go to Duke, right? And become the Duke coach or the next EYBL coach. EYBL, Nike is putting the clamps on what they're doing, right? They're not bringing new teams in, right?
They're locked,
They're shortening the amount of teams that they're supporting and advancing money to for EYBL. What it takes is, of course, dedication, right? People, there's so much dedication in playing. And how many kids want to say, come on, let's go to the park and go play ball and train and work hard and work out at 7, 8, 9 years old, right? You got some. But I always say to parents too now, kids don't know what they want. Like, they have no idea. So it's up to you to do in a healthy way, take your kid to and train and work with a team, with the right coach or with the right trainer, and put them in a good position, a good healthy position. And then so again, the how to make it and what it takes to make it. First, you gotta stay healthy, eat right, sleep right. People take that stuff for granted, right? And we know in certain neighborhoods, in our neighborhood, well, we're close to each other.
Mhm.
I'm not sure where you guys live, but you know, when you see people walking down the street and certain foods are less expensive, a lot less expensive,
And more accessible than
more accessible, right?
Yeah.
And you look at, like, you can tell, like in the South Bronx, I think the Bronx has the worst, I think the poorest number of people per capita in the world, right?
Yeah.
Who can afford healthy food, right? Which has to do with you growing and put the right stuff, nutrients into your body so you can become healthy and stay healthy. Now, you know, you don't eat right, you might not grow. You don't sleep right, you might, and it's so. I mean, we live in a we don't live in a world of equity, right? So, but those things play a role. Environmental issues play a role in our development, right? And so sometimes I haven't seen it as much lately. You see kids going to school and chips and sugar in the morning.
That's like,
It's
I see
just
it all the
like,
time.
it breaks my heart.
They go to school, they buying, that prime energy drink. Kids, prime, bro, go to school, bro.
Right.
Why you drinking
Me too.
Why you drinking the energy drink?
Arizona's every morning.
Right.
And stuff.
Arizona chips, right? Only pasta stuff.
Arizona's every day.
Right. And you know, here's what else they got. Dunkin' Donuts, they got Popeyes. I'm just, you
Yeah.
know,
Popeyes on every corner. Dunkin' Donuts on every 2 blocks.
McDonald's is on every 2
McDonald's, right? Exactly. Fast food, right? So that plays a role. I always wanted to make sure my kids slept well and wanted to make sure that they ate well, right? Which plays a major role.
So I had a question too, my fault. I was gonna ask you, how was Ty Jerome's draft process for you, because he ended up going to Virginia and winning a national championship. So like you're saying, right now the development of it, that's the type of school that's real big on development, not really like a one and done school, more of like a get your degree type of school. So was that a big for you in deciding, or his deciding factor, or you guys were just
So at the time, let me just go back. I'm gonna come back to that second because I just want to finish what it takes, right? I think, or can you tell how good a kid is? Like Donovan was just he wasn't I could tell the story and I'll tell it to him. He shot the ball in the wrong basket at a playoff game where we needed to win, right? So every kid I see that does that now, it happens more than you think. Yeah. I'm like, dude, don't worry, don't cry. You see kids crying after they do it. I'm like, let me tell you a story about Donovan Mitchell, who's one of the best players ever to play the game. Yeah. He did that, right? For me. Yeah. And we lost the play. We were always playing up. My team was good, and we ran stuff differently. We were running college sets and effectively, backdoors and again, the IQ stuff, right? Getting people to think. And getting kids, and I had creative kids, but some kids, not everybody, but how do you get them the combination of being creative and having the IQ, which I think if you can get that bag too, you become a much higher level player, right? Defensively, offensively, Ty, worst athlete maybe in the NBA, right? No, he's not athletic, right? So how does he get to play? How does he get to play at Virginia, right? But I had drilled on defense from the time we were always playing defense and playing man-to-man defense. When I see teams playing zone at 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, I'm just going, who plays zone in college? Yeah. Who plays zone? Rarely. Minus Syracuse, right? And they don't do anymore. Yeah. Right? Rest in peace to Archer's job, because he's a good dude. But we
Harlem, but
yeah, it didn't work out. Maybe consider to fail. But so I think it's dedication, it's staying healthy, eating right, sleeping right, athleticism. Right, you don't have to be athletic. IQ, right? Have to be good. And how can you? I think you have to study the game too. And kids don't study. I would have a conversation with Ty in high school, and be like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And text him, and he'd be in the back of class I'm studying Steph Curry. He's not watching him for shot making, for entertainment value. He's studying his footwork, right? He was so. But he got it from the time he was. He wanted to do it, right? So I can compare my 5-year-old now to Ty when he was 5, right? And my 5-year-old now, he's all over the map. He's crazy. But
that's my boy right there.
He's got good hand-eye coordination. And seeing him in baseball is I can't really catch that well, but I throw hard anyway. But he can't the attention span is just so different. Mm-hmm. A 5-year-old having attention span and focus is so rare.
Especially in the
6, 7, 8.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I have a nephew who's just turned 6. He's always on the top.
Hard here, and stuff now.
Yeah. And I get in battles with my kid's mother, with that one's mother. No iPad. Stop. Don't let him near the iPad. You shouldn't be having an iPad. Do not have the iPad to sleep. that you can't have a good sleep if you're falling asleep to the iPad.
You gotta bring it to that blue light. That blue light.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleep.
Exactly. Sleep is so important, right?
Yeah.
And just being healthy, making good decisions, growing. Like Big Rodney Miller went to Miami, right? He would stay at my house. Big Rodney Miller would stay at my house. He'd take a naps for like hours. Hours upon hours. Torian Thompson, right?
Yeah.
He'd be at my house, right? And just, it helps. And the individuals grew to 7 feet, right? And so, I think the athleticism, staying healthy, how hard you work, having the right person coach you is so important. Because there's so many people that don't have the right people coach them. And dudes are like, yo, what happened to him? He was so good. But they go to dudes that don't know what they're doing. And a lot of trainers have no, I watch some trainers, I watch some coaches in the Catholic School League, and I'm going, that's what they're learning. I've been in some practices. And I'm not going to say cool, I'm not going to say what teams, what schools, but I would just be like, yo, this kid's not going to make it. He's considered a high-level player when he gets to college. He's never going to make it. Never. Right? So I think there's a lot of that, right? That helps people, can propel people to making it. And you know, making good choices on and off the court too. Off the court, you start making the wrong choices, start eating the wrong food, hanging out with the wrong group. And I'm not saying bad kids, but just kids that aren't as motivated as you once were to be like, yo, I'm going to go work out. And so, funny story, and I talk about with my brother all the time. One of his guys is a big time soccer coach. I think he played, I don't know, I think he's from, I don't know if he's from Africa or somewhere in Europe, wherever he's from. And so he was talking to me, my brother asked a lot of questions, right? For me, it's a sign of curiosity, a sign of intelligence. So he's like, says to the guy, hey, I want to talk about my daughter playing soccer. And before he can even ask the question, the coach is like, let me tell you right away, if she's going to parties, forget it, don't ask me. If she's hanging out with her friends, don't ask me, because she ain't gonna make it. There's so much sacrifice you have to make to become a high-level player.
Sacrifice, discipline, all that.
Right? And you look at, like, I was having this conversation with this guy, the same guy who I proposed the video with, from the Athletic. He was like, he did a video on Jellyfam. And you look at all those kids that they did Jellyfam.
Where they know.
Where are they now? Nas Reed is the only one, right? And they're all great players.
Yeah.
But were they working on the right things? Were they being coached by the right people? Like Isaiah Washington, I know him since he was, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Was that? Great kid, right? But who was telling him, yo, we got to take 300, 400, 500 shots a day, right? Because he was at Millbank working out, and with somebody over there saying, I'm feeding you the ball. I don't think they even have a gun there, but my little man goes there sometimes to play. Yeah.
They got rushed out at the time.
Yeah.
Working on just dribble moves instead of just like
right. College Division I and high-low D1 and NBA, you got to be able to shoot. Yeah. Right? So can Isaiah shoot? His
can shoot. Yeah.
Not even to interrupt.
Especially as a guard.
Especially how you said, like, studying the game and then thinking it. I seen a clip of JQ, Jellyfam Javon Penalty, where he was talking about when he go through his college process, he wasn't thinking of research. He wasn't studying the team that he was trying to commit to. Right. He wasn't looking at the sets they were running. He wasn't looking at how he would fit. Wow. And how he ended up bouncing from school to school to school.
Well, the first school we know why I went there.
Yeah, the scandal, right? We first go to Arizona first, right?
Yeah. And we know what happened there and who took the fall for there. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Shout out Book, man.
Book and a whole lot of other brothers too. They got arrested and we know who didn't get arrested, right? We know who didn't take the fall.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. But then, yes, there is that. So that leads me into what you asked me about college process. I didn't really know. It was like, at the time, it was Virginia had offered his sophomore year, right? Right after AUC, and they won the national championship, right? He'd been recruited by some good schools, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. I really want somebody. My man Kamani Young, who's that coach at UConn, head associate head coach at UConn. He was like, yo, the coach at Northwestern likes him a lot. And Kamani at the time was working for Tino's son.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
At Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right? And this guy, Nick Blatchford, who was running New Heights, starting New Heights, and then he was running Under Armour stuff, and now he's an agent. He was like, I think Stanford kind of likes him. And I was always like, man, I want Stanford, right? You come out of Stanford, I'm not thinking NBA. I know Dwayne Mitchell from the Gauchos years ago was like, Ty's a Division 1 player. It's like 6th, 7th grade.
That's crazy. Here's my coach for IU.
Where?
I got chose.
So D-Mitch came up to me and came to my office at Riverside. He's like, yo, Ty's Division 1 player. I'm like, Ty was in 6th. I was like, yeah, whatever. Come on, bro, get on out of here with that. Went to Nationals in 8th grade, and that's when I had Torian and Big Rodney. Went to Miami. Pretty good team. Torian and Rodney weren't that good at that time, but they were just 6'5", 6'6", you know. And I just tell somebody the story about the Rins. The Rins kind of did Ty dirty, right? He was playing with it for a little while. He was like, yo, I'm not doing this. I was like, all right, we'll put together a team. The Rins got bounced in the first round. We go to League 8. They're playing boxing, a triangle and 2 on Ty and Torian. That team, I think, had a couple of NBA players. Anyway, moving forward, going to Under Armour, then when Under Armour, Kamani said Northwestern likes him, and I was like, that's kind of messed up. You coming over and tell me Northwestern was okay. They were good at the time. They're always great, right? Playing in the Big Ten. But you're at Minnesota, you talking to me about another team like it, right?
You're like, damn.
And Nick had said to me, Stanford likes him. I was like, Stanford, what? And the year before, in 8th grade, Columbia offered him. And we were like, oh, that's cool. And then Princeton offered in 9th grade. I was like, you're going to Princeton. Right? I'm not thinking, I'm just Princeton, man. What? You're almost getting up Princeton, right? Funny story. And then some guy bought me a watch, like a really nice watch. A good friend of mine, like real nice dude. But time I went there, he was like, yo, I'm gonna buy you a watch when I make it to NBA, right? I was like, yeah, which end up with the like, you know, the fast food league, lunchtime league, how you gonna get that money when you're working at McDonald's? So, you know, like, you're going to Princeton. Sophomore year comes Stanford. He's like, yo, Stanford's gonna offer you, and Northwestern. I was like, what? Stanford? Oh man, that's my dream school for my dad.
My dream school for my boy.
Right. I went on the business actually. Truthfully, he didn't go. So, and so, and so Virginia walks in, and the dude from Columbia, who's actually at Stanford now, and the associate coach who's from Florida that's my dude, Carl Hartman. And so whose son's going to Michigan next year. They had walked. Columbia was there, and they see a guy from Stanford who was at Columbia, Kyle Smith at the time, always told a story. He said, I saw Tony Bennett coming. I was like, oh no. And in front of Tony Bennett, he made some, like, he just did really well. And he had a game-winning shot against this really good team, whatever it was, Run KMC. And then Tony, like, his AAU coach was like, yo, Tony Bennett's gonna offer you guys. I think Virginia at the time was like number 3 in the country. And I was like, come on, man, stop playing with me. Stop playing. No, he's gonna call you and offer you. I was like, yeah, whatever, come on. And it took me back to 8th grade when we were at Nationals. 8th grade National used to be ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, Thonmaker, his team was in it. Thonmaker's team, no, they were a team out of New Orleans.
Okay.
They
were 8th grade, yeah.
Crazy. I remember we played them in what was it tournament? Real big in the city. The dude from Albany used to run it. It was a big team. Yeah, but it was they come down here and run it. I can't think of it. But it was like the biggest tournament. And they came down.
Nike Switch?
No, yeah.
What's the one you probably went to? I'm talking about 2017 when you went to pull that one in the city.
We went to Under Armour League.
Oh.
Yeah. It was something, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like everybody would come to New York, we're playing it. And we're playing this team and from New Orleans, and they didn't have Thonmaker. And I had, again, Tori, Rodney, and a couple other kids. And I guess by the halftime they started playing boxing one at a time because he was giving the business, but they had 2 kids jumping outside the dots, dunking at 6'1", 6'2". Yeah, no, it was their team was stacked. It was coached by this guy, Chris Corciani, his brother. Chris Corciani was a big-time player at NC State years ago. And so, you know, they had that bread. They had to be taking care of the kids. They had this 6'5", 6'6" kid who was supposed to be like number 5, number 10 in the country. They had a bunch of really good players. And we ended up going to overtime. Home team, we got jerked on a call. They called offensive foul. Anyway, you would think in New York we would fast forward. Yeah, was that?
So you think in New York you guess with love, but
yeah, Kalia Turner was the big 6'5", 6'8" kid, and you look at all these kids who fizzle out. Just they don't make it, right? Even to play high level D1. So Bennett finally calls me like a week later. I'm in my apartment by myself, and I'm like, and it says 434, and the coach told me he was gonna call, and I'm just like,
This is the call. This is the call.
and I get the call, and we're talking, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna offer Ty. And I thought, you would have thought I hit loud. I think the people, and on your block, my old block, the 99 heard me scream, right? It was like, what? This is insane. So that's how Virginia happened.
That's crazy.
His senior year, or next year, he played EYBL. He did really well until he couldn't play. It got hurt. But we played against some real good team to go to the Final Four, which would have been on. We played with PSA, which would have been on ESPN. Shot goes in. As a matter of fact, he took a shot, went in, and they goaltended it. The other team. That team had a bunch of really good players, including this one kid who ended up going to Louisville. Guy went to Louisville, didn't get minutes at this.
Damn.
Didn't get minutes. So it's just crazy when all these parents are when you see them so crazy on the sideline, and you know, like, bro,
You don't know what's
like the chances of you making it to that level are so slim. Chill out on the sideline, relax. You see it every Sunday.
Yeah.
With these crazy parents.
Yeah.
Like they
ready to fight.
18 are the worst.
Maybe the youngest parents have the words that's the craziest. Young parents are crazy.
They're filming, screaming, fighting. Like, we gotta fight with grade team. But I just, if I could, just advise some people, just like, give them the right coach, be easy. Unfortunately, it goes fast. Because you guys I think you guys as being like 6 and 5 and 7 yesterday. Now look at you.
Yeah, fact.
You guys are doing your own podcast at 27 years old. Like,
high school.
remarkable, right?
Yeah.
And
time flies.
it's gonna fly. It's gonna fly. Like you said, you got a 5-year-old, 6-year-old,
6-year-old nephew, yeah.
and nephew, and next thing you know, he's gonna be 20, right?
Yeah.
And I hope it goes slow. I hope it goes real slow.
I mean,
I'm starting to
the first 6 years, fool, by a whole
Yeah.
lot, so.
Yeah.
You want your little brother on a soccer
Yo,
team.
my little brother's he's in Germany right now, playing pro. He's in like the 3rd division in Germany.
How old is he?
He's 21 now.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
He went out last like
You watch
I watched him grow up, bro.
Where did he go to high school?
He went to Martin Luther King in the city.
That's where I coach high school.
School.
Really?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Bro. It's always small world.
And Jake is my dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He played MLK 1 year, but
okay.
every other year he played through the MLS academies, the MLS
So
next.
Jake might have been mad at him for leaving. Jake is crazy about it.
That was one year from high school in Sydney, right? And
They won't let you play through both. He was
Right.
playing in the academy, and he tried to play MLK, and they said you can't both. You got to choose
Right.
one. So
And so he chose. I can just imagine Jake
yeah,
screaming and cursing
Right.
and protesting. Yeah.
you're right. Time does fly. 'Cause now he's basically a grown man. Now he's out there living on his own, doing his own thing like this.
What part of Germany is he in?
Where to Bremen, Germany. You don't know that.
Yeah.
You got to get a trip out there, totally. You got to plan that.
Yeah, he said he coming back in May though, so I'm gonna see.
That's incredible. Like doing that at 21 years old.
He went out there on a whim. He went out there on his own. No, he wasn't guaranteed no offers. He just went out there on the trial. Tried out. Got half.
How much you been there?
Been there. About to be a year now.
That's incredible.
Fire.
Fire. Proud of him. Watching it, I'm proud of you, bro.
Good luck.
Hey yo, and for the kids that's watching, if y'all are tuning in, y'all heard what Mark said, man.
To the judge.
You heard what it takes, man. Discipline. Gotta eat right. Get your sleep. Be around the right crowds of people. Study the game. All
That'll
that.
be a whole separate part. Got a clip.
Oh yeah.
I got any questions before we wrap? I want to just make sure everybody got their questions out. Not even a chance you got to speak with a legendary coach.
Yeah, high level coach, yeah.
Well, so 2 questions. I have another question about, because I feel like Ty had a really great just a coming up. He was having on the prep with Matt Ryan, right? They won a championship too, right? No, they lost. They had a really good team though, because him and Isaiah were always battling. So that's how I always remember Ty and Isaiah, but then to go to Virginia and then to get drafted, that's another factor too.
Also, national championship.
Yeah, national championship and then get drafted. You feel me? It's a lot of great players who, like you saying, kind of fizzle out, more athletic, more taller, more talented, and didn't get drafted. Even Nasri, he didn't get drafted, but he made the team, like that. And he's 6'11", big. Now, in high school, there was no way you could tell me watching him that he wouldn't get drafted coming out of high school. So, just having that, like, and I think you're trying to talk about it, like, your principles having him defense, being a strong guard, just understanding the game and having IQ more than just physical or running up and down and seeing it differently, kind of was probably the difference maker for, like, getting drafted, I would say. Or maybe you're
So, one of the things is, Jason did 3.
Yeah.
One of the things that we can't teach,
We got 12.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what you call it. Some people might call it the it factor. Some people might call it just like another level of confidence that is undeniable, unbreakable.
Yeah.
And I've been talking about this with a couple of different people. And to have that, this many people have it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you think about how many people are in the world, how many people want to play in the NBA, who are eligible to play in the NBA, and how many people are in the NBA, or 450 or whatever it is. Like, we all of them play in the NBA. I still have dreams about that. I'll make up sometimes like, oh man, I missed that shot, right? I'm on playing on the garden floor. But, these dudes, you can't go into the NBA, you can't go to high-level Division I play basketball and defer, right? And you've got to be a shot taker. If you try not to be, you'll be down so quickly. So people are like, yo, he shoots too much, he's this, he's that. Guess what? People are like Trae Young, right? Trae Young is not my favorite player to watch because I think he's not great for his team.
But
Dude's making
he's a
$35-40 million.
He's a shot taker.
He's a shot taker and a shot maker, and that's it, right? I don't think he's a winner.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe with Washington they get a draft pick, but he's going to shoot too much. I know guys don't necessarily like. Not everybody likes him. I'm not saying everybody, but some guys don't.
I mean, there was rumors that's coming out. John Collins and George Clinton.
Yeah, John Collins is a star.
Yeah.
He's good. But when you look at, but he's going to take shots, which is going to keep him in the NBA and get him. And what's he making? 35, 40, 45, whatever he's making.
They're gonna offer him that back extension. He's gonna get that extension.
That's crazy. He's gonna get max because he's not my starting guard for a max deal. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how many years you got to be in Atlanta to figure that out?
Well, Washington's desperate, man.
Yeah, but
That's
all.
That's why he went there.
Let's wrap this up.
Couple minutes.
Real quick, because we had a lot of great conversation. A lot of gems here. Make sure we taking notes. Make sure we paying attention, listening in. Drop your questions in the comments. Anybody y'all want to ask. Whoever else y'all want to see on the podcast next. Mark, real quick before we wrap, any words you got for us? Any advice, things you want to say, or things that we should look forward to doing in this podcasting space, basketball space, or anybody we should reach out to?
First, I'm impressed that you guys are your professionalism. The studio was incredible.
Shout out. Our sponsor, Public Network. Shout out PLN, man.
Incredible studio. The hallway smells like it's like I'm walking into a wellness center.
Yeah.
Right? So it's refreshing. I'm looking forward to you guys being better than all that smoke and first take and all that, because you guys are young cats getting into this business. I'm really excited to see young brothers in this business, and a lot of people podcasts. But you guys have researched, your information, the conversation I've had, which is remarkable. That's a lot of that, right? Just being smart, educated, and researching, right? That's super important. And a lot of people do podcasts and they're not.
Yeah.
I've been on a few podcasts and it's not the same. So you guys are doing incredible work, which I'm so happy to see. Catch you all. Everybody's from Harlem?
Yeah, you go from all
Love it.
All the world. Take over.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing it. I don't know what you got. What's the name of the podcast?
Hoops Views.
Yeah.
Whose Views?
Hoops. Sugar Free Hoops Views. Right here. Shout out to Mag. Shout out to Pod.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Gotta
I'll
get
make
you
a
a copy.
Yeah, gotta get you one.
Yeah, gotta get you a copy of this.
Please, I'd love to. This game,
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one to get to him, bro.
this game takes people a lot of places.
Yes.
A lot of places,
Yes.
right?
From there.
And I would just say get healthy. Make healthy choices. Right? Put yourselves and your kids in good situations.
Our future kids, though, we all bachelors right now. We don't got no kids.
When it's time, don't rush.
Yeah, no rush.
Don't rush. And don't be like me with kids. I'm not gonna talk about it.
You got good kids. You got straight D1s.
You got D1s and you got a kid that.
You got straight D1s and
You did a great job,
straight
bro.
talent, man. You got some talent in your genes.
Thank you.
But nah, Mark, so thank you, man, for being on the podcast.
Cheers, man.
Appreciate it so much, man. Thank you.
You guys all those
gems, bro.
A lot.
You guys are good. You guys ask really, really smart questions. Really good questions. You guys know your stuff.
What's up, man?
Sucker Free Who's Views podcast. We in March, so we're not closing out with no music. It's still Ramadan. Ramadan season among us. Staying strong. But catch us next week, y'all. Y'all see this upload very shortly.
Pax, Tolly, Relly, and our special guest, Mark Jerome.
Yeah,
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
that's a wrap.